Hi everyone. So in this we will discuss about outer joins, then aggregate functions. Okay, outer union I'll not explain here, but outer join and aggregate functions I'll explain. Now, a type of request that cannot be expressed in the basic relational algebra is to specify mathematical aggregate functions. That means you have a set of values. On that you have to perform some aggregate functions. Say you want to find out what is the maximum salary of an employee, or how many employees are there in each department. That means you need to count. So in such cases you cannot apply the basic relational expressions. Okay, so that can be specified, or that can be expressed using aggregate functions. Like on the collection of numerical values you can apply the aggregate functions. Now examples, as I said, you want to retrieve the average or total salary of all employees, or you need to find out the total number of employee tuples in the relation. Now these functions are used in simple statistical queries. Okay, that means which summarizes the information from the database tuples. Now common functions which are applied on the numerical values are sum, average, maximum and minimum. Okay, these are the four basic functions which you are applying on the numerical values. And there is one more, that is count. Count is used to find out how many tuples are there, or how many values are there in the relation. Okay, like just it will count. If 10 tuples are there, it will give you 10. So like that it will count the number of tuples or the values. Now here to represent the aggregate function, we use the script f. Okay, the letter f. And the functions, the aggregate function can be applied like this. Okay, like max, that is the maximum, max salary, and specify the relation name, so employee. So we are finding the maximum salary of employee. Okay, so it retrieves the maximum salary value from the employee relation. Then if you want to find out what is the minimum salary in the employee relation, then you can specify min salary. And you want to find out the sum or the total, then apply sum, sum. And you want to check the count, you want to compute the count of employees, the number of employees and their average salary, then you can use count SSN average salary. So specify the function which you want to use and then write the attribute name. Okay, so this is the syntax of aggregate function. Here count will just count the number of rows or the tuples, and it will not remove the duplicate values. Okay, if the same value is repeating, but it will not find out the count of distinct values. Instead of that, it will take the count of the total tuples or the total number of rows. Okay, so it will not remove the duplicate values. Now here example, the previous example we have seen, like we are summarizing one or more attributes. Okay, like maximum salary or count of SSN. Now suppose you want to fetch the details, or you want to find out the aggregation on a particular group. Okay, then you need to apply the grouping. You have, for example, in each department who is getting maximum salary, that you have to find out, not in the entire relation. Now you're specifying, okay, in department 1 so and so, and department 2 this much salary, this is the highest, like that you have to retrieve, or you want to display. In that case you are grouping the tuples based on the department number. Like first you will say, okay, in department 1 5 employees are there, and in that 5 tuples what is the maximum salary. Okay, so you have to apply the aggregate function on the group. Okay, now how we can do this? For example, here for each department, retrieve the department number, count of SSN, that means the number of employees in that department, and find out what is the average salary. So first we will group the attributes, we will group the tuples based on the grouping attribute, and then apply the aggregate function. So here at the left hand side you have to specify the grouping attribute. So I want to see for each department, right? When you have the query like this, you need to find out something for each department. If they give for each department, then that means you need to apply the grouping. Okay, so specify the grouping attribute at the left hand side, and then what we have to find out? We have to count the number of employees. So count SSN, because SSN is a unique value. Okay, it will give you like how many employees are there. So count SSN and average salary. So apply average function on salary attribute. Then give the relation name. From employee relation we are doing this. So write the relation name as employee. Okay. So here first what it will do, it will apply the grouping function. That means it will group according to the department number, and then it will find out how many employees are there. That means it will apply the count function. Also, it will apply the average function on the salary attribute. Now, the result will be like this. Okay, so department number, then number of employees and average salary. So here what we have done, we have renamed the attributes. See, row is used for renaming. I'm renaming the relation or the resultant relation as R, and the attribute will be DNO, then number of employees and average salary. Otherwise, it will just display like this, the DNO, then count of SSN it will show, then average salary it will show. Okay, to get the proper naming convention, we have to rename it. Now here you can see D number is the grouping attribute, and it will show how many employees are there in each department and what is the average salary. Okay, if you don't rename, then it will display like this: count SSN, average salary. Okay, and the last one, what is that? Count SSN and average salary on employee relation. And here will take the count of SSN and then average salary from the employee. So count of SSN means here we have not applied any grouping. So directly it will take the total number of tuples in the relation. So here the actual working of this grouping and aggregation is shown. So first it will take according to the department number, it will group the tuples, and in this group it will find out how many employees are there. That means it will count the number of SSNs in the group. Okay, so 4 tuples are there, so count will be 4, and it will find out what is the average salary. So average salary will be calculated on this salary attribute, and if I say in department 1 only 1 tuple is there, that means it will give you only it will apply average on only 1 tuple. So you can see here 55,000 is the result of this group, right? Like average salary of department 1. Now the next is natural join and equijoin we have seen, but we'll go for outer join. Okay, in natural join and equijoin, what happens is based on the matching condition, it will take the tuples, and the non-matching tuples will be eliminated, or it will be rejected. Suppose you want to when you take the when you take the join, if you want to include the tuples which are having null values, whether null values, okay, then those tuples will also get eliminated. Not only the unmatching tuples, but along with that, if it is having null values, so those tuples will also be eliminated. Okay, so in that case, suppose I want to retain the tuples which are having the null values, then we can use the outer joins. Now, a set of operations called outer joins can be used when we want to keep all the tuples which are there in R or in S or in both the relations. Okay, so whether they are matching or not, suppose I want to include everything, then I can use outer join. Now there are three different outer joins. The first one, the left outer join. So the left outer join, it keeps every tuple in the first or left relation R. See, this is the representation or the notation. So it will keep the tuples, every tuples which are there in R, that is the first operand relation. And if no matching tuples is found in S, then what it will do, it will put null values for such tuples. Okay, so that means all the matching tuples from R will be taken into consider, and if there is still some more tuples are there in R, but matching tuples are not there in S, then it will put null values for such tuples, such attributes in the relation S. Okay, then similarly we have right outer join. In right outer join, it's just the reverse, like it will keep all the tuples from S, and for the non-matching tuples in R, what it will do, it will just put the null values for the attributes of R. And in third one, that is full outer join, so here matching and unmatching tuples from both the relations will be taken in the result. Now we'll see the result of left outer join. The result of left outer join is like this. Here I'm just taking the first name, middle name and L name from the employee, and the D name from the department. Okay, that means I'm just checking whether they belong to, or they are the manager of a particular department. Now here Franklin is the manager of research department, but John is not, so that's why here we have to put null. So it will take all the names from the first operand relation. If there is a matching value in department table, so that will appear in the result. If there is no matching value in the department for this tuple, then for dname attribute, it will place null value. Now here the example is retrieve the name and address of all employees who work for the research department. Okay, so what we will do? We will take department name equal to research. So this first we will take all the tuples from department where department name equal to research. Then take the join. Okay, here we'll apply equijoin because we need to see who are the employees working in research department. Their names we have to fetch. Their details we have to fetch. Okay, so for that first we'll apply the equi-join and then take the name and address, because here they have asked name and address of all employees who work in the research department. See, first you have to see, okay, name and address of all employees, from which table I can get, from which relation I can get. Name and address are there in employees table. And who work for the research department. In employees table, we have the department number, but we don't have the department name. Now to get the department name, I have to go for department relation. Okay, so I need to map employee and department, where the name of the department must be research. Okay, now how to match these two relations? What is a common attribute, or which attribute gives you the same information in both the tables? In employee I have department number, and in department I have department number, right? So using that we have to join, and then either you can do this join first and then you can select, or you can select the research department and then you can take the join. Okay, now here if I select the name first, sorry, if I select the department with research, then after joining it will reduce the number of tuples. Otherwise, if we take the join first and then we select based on the condition, then it will be applied on the large relation. Okay, so that's why first take the tuple matching with this condition and then join with the employee relation, and from this result you take name and address. Now this next query is retrieve the names of employees who have no dependents. Okay, no dependents means I have to join employee and dependent table. Okay, because we need to retrieve the names of employees, right? Names of employee means employee relation, and dependence information is there in dependent relation. So how to get the name of employees who have no dependents? So you have to take join or employee and dependent. Okay, so what is the common or the relating attribute here with employee and between employee and dependent? We have SSN. Okay, so first you take SSN of all employees, then take the SSN of dependent, SSN from dependent relation, and then without dependence we need to fetch, right? So if I take the minus operation, see, in all employees means I have SSN of all employees, and here the employees SSN who are having the dependents. Now if I take the difference, then I'll get the SSN of employees who have no dependents. Okay, now I got the SSN of employees who have no dependents, but what is asked? Name of employees. Name of employees means I have to take the natural join with employee and then fetch L name and F name. Now we'll see the example of the different operations like a cross product, then outer join, inner join and all. So here consider these two are the relations R and S, and here ID is the common attribute. Now if we take the cross product, so for each tuple it will take the combination. Okay, that means one Abhi, then one Delhi, two Adam with one Delhi, four Alex with one Delhi. Like this it will take the combination of each tuple. So in the result we'll have 3 into 3, total 9 tuples, and the columns will be 2 plus 2, m plus n. Okay, so 4 attributes of the columns, and you will be having 3 cross 3. So here 3 rows are there, and in another table also you have 3. So 3 into 3, 9 tuples you will get in the result. And then equijoin. Equijoin means I have to specify the condition over here. So condition, I'll write r dot id equal to s dot id. What happens in the result? We'll get only the matching tuples based on this condition. Okay, so here 1 is matching, so it will take 1 Abhi, 1 Delhi, then 2 Adam, 2 Mumbai, 3 Alex, 3 Chennai. For fourth tuple, there is no matching ID here. Here it is 4, but in relation S, there is no tuple with ID 4. So you'll get only 3 tuples. But what about the number of attributes? It will be the number of attributes in R plus number of attributes in S. So total 4 attributes, 4 columns. Then natural join. Here the column name is same, identical. So no need to write the condition. Just you have to write R into S. Now in the result, it is similar to your equijoin in the previous case, but what happens here, 3 rows you will get, but the number of columns will be 3. Okay, it will take only 1 column because the name is same and values also same. So ID, name and address. So these 3 columns and 3 rows will get. And then left outer join. In the left outer join, we will see here 1 and 1 is matching, 2 is matching, 3 is matching. But for 4 and 5, there are no matching tuples in relation S. Now, because of that, for the attributes or the column of relation S, we will put null values. Okay, so it will take all the tuples from relation, the first relation or the left hand side relation, and the matching tuples from right hand side relation, and for the non-matching tuples it will place null values. So this is the left outer join. Then in the right outer join, all tuples from relation S, that is the right hand side relation, and if there is no matching tuples in relation R, then for those we will put the null value. So which is matching here? 1, 2, 3 is matching, but for 7 and 8 we don't have a matching tuple in relation R. So in that place we will put null value. Okay, you can see here for these two. For these two, like 4 and 5, we will put null value. So this is the right outer join. Then comes full outer join. In full outer join, we'll take all matching tuples from other relations, and for non-matching, we'll pad that with the null values. Okay, so like here, these first three are matching, and for 4 and 5, in relation S, there is no matching tuples, so attribute value will be padded with null value. And for 7 and 8, in relation R, there is no matching tuples, so we'll place null values. Okay, so like this, if you want to take all the informations like whether it is matching or non-matching, or if it is having null values, then we can apply the outer join. Okay, so this will complete the relational algebra chapter. Thank you.